The kid is still in full racist garb. The only part of him that's not intentionally kind of racist is the black part. The rest is team colors, and he's going for just being a fan. But the racism is already in there, just not the kind that the right is picking up and flogging Deadspin with over a 5-year-old kid. Like, the stupidity of this is remarkable.
It feels like we're in the Vegas residency phase of racism.
And that little excerpt you just heard is from a show called The Dan Le Batard Show, Lebatard. But for this episode, I'm going to call it The Dan Libtard Show, because that's exactly what that is. They're still talking about this 9-year-old boy who wore his team colors and painted his face. This is the left, the radical left, and they all say Republicans, MAGA extremists. These people are the ones that need to grow up and realize that that is a 9-year-old boy supporting his team. But it gets even better. Jesse Waters interviewed the little boy and his father, and it all comes out, what the kid was doing, that he's Native American. And in fact, the little boy is actually scared a bit for all the publicity he's been getting, because the Democrats, the libtards, and the Dan Le Batard Show, and of course, Mr. Karen Phillips from Deadspin, made all this nonsense about nothing, about a 9-year-old boy supporting his team. Have a listen to this interview.
The mother of the young fan is saying her son is Native American. It turns out Holden Armenta, the 9-year-old getting slandered, has Native American blood. His family lineage, the Chumash tribe. They hail from California, an ancient people with a rich history on the Pacific coast. Holden and his family used to live on the Chumash reservation. So if anyone's entitled to paint their face and wear a headdress to a Chiefs game, it's Holden. Let's bring in Holden Armenta and his father, Bubba. So, Bubba, what was going through your mind the second you found out your son had been targeted like this?
It's been a lot. It's been a pretty crazy couple of days. I was mad, upset for him. Mad that he's upset. He's pretty devastated. I mean, he's seen the videos and everything posted. He's excited. He's all over. It was his dream to get on the Jumbotron. And I've had family and friends call and, oh, we saw you on Sunday Night Football. So he's excited. But then everything else came up, and it's been a little bit of a spiral.
Holden, how are you feeling right now?
It's okay because a lot of kids at school are getting excited, but it's starting to get me a little nervous because if they go a little bit overboard, it's a little scary.
I bet it's scary. It can be a very overwhelming experience. How has the community been in terms of support?
Okay. So far.
Good. And you're a football guy, right? Don't you have practice in a few minutes?
Yeah, we're getting ready to head out the door for all-star practice.
What position do you play?
Wide receiver and free safety.
It's amazing. And how big of a Chiefs fan are you?
Really big.
And what does it mean?
Because we went to the Raiders Chiefs game last year, too.
Nice. And what does it mean now that you're feeling all this love from Chiefs Nation? Everyone's going to be wearing red and black on their faces next Sunday.
Really good.
So, Bubba,
he asked me 10 minutes. He asked me 10 minutes ago if he can paint his face before we go live.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants. He's a great patriot. He's a great American, and he's a great fan, and everybody loves Holden. But Karen over at Deadspin doesn't. Bubba, would you like an apology? What would you like from Karen at Deadspin?
I don't even know what to think about that. It's a little too late for that. The damage is already done. It's, worldwide. Now there's comments all over. There's, disrespect towards Native Americans and towards my family. We never in any way, shape, or form meant to disrespect any Native Americans or any tribes. The tribe we're from doesn't even wear that type of headdress. This specific headdress is a novelty piece. It's a costume piece. That's exactly what we had purchased it for and wore it for. Not in any disrespect towards any Native Americans at all. And it's been a whirlwind of comments coming even from other tribes, from tribal members. Some think it's okay, some think it's not okay. It's a 9-year-old boy supporting his team.
And there you have it. This is what's going on in our country today, where grown men, so-called journalists, reporters, are making a big scene over a 9-year-old child. And you heard the father, and you heard Jesse Waters. The child is Native American. They lived on the Indian reservation before they moved. And the child is feeling somewhat nervous over all of this, because even a 9-year-old boy knows how ridiculous this is. And like I said in my last episode about this, that child doesn't even know what racism means. So he is going to continue to wear his team colors and wear his headdress. And you heard his father, Bubba, say, it's a costume headdress. It's not even the type that the tribe wears. He bought it for a costume so his son could wear it to the football game to support his Chiefs. They don't want an apology from Mr. Karen Phillips because it's too late for that. Karen Phillips and now the Dan Le Batard show have smeared this young man all over the media for any liberal Democrat that would listen, because God forbid a child supports his favorite football team. And the child plays football. What's the problem here? What is the problem with grown people pointing the finger at a 9-year-old child? That just goes to show you what the Democrats and the extreme leftists are all about. They don't care if you're 9 years old or 90 years old. If you don't agree with them that Joe Biden is the savior of our country and all white people are white supremacists, then you're the bad one. I'm the bad one. That's the propaganda they push. And they pushed it this time a little too far, because like you heard in that clip, the Kansas City Chief fans are on board with this. They're on board with that 9-year-old boy, and they're going to paint their faces just like that in support of that little kid. These reporters, like I said last night, need to take a good look in the mirror. If they want to talk shit about adults, that's one thing. But when you're pointing the finger and spreading lies all over your radio show or news show that a 9-year-old boy is racist, you have a serious problem. You have a morality problem. You have no morals. You are nothing but a left-wing Democrat who wants to push your propaganda, your agenda on whoever will listen. So good for that little man for standing up and supporting his team, and good for him because he's going to continue to paint his face and support his team for the remainder of the season. Enough is enough with this racist crap. The left-wing liberals want racism to be on the forefront. They do not want racial harmony. We all know it. It comes from the White House. It comes from Sleepy Joe. It comes from Kamala Harris. And Joe Biden, one of his most favorite lines when he actually gets out a full sentence is white supremacy is one of the biggest problems in our country. And white supremacy is the biggest danger or threat to our democracy. The Democrats, the libtards, are ridiculous. And that's it. So thanks for tuning in. If you haven't liked this video already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. You won't miss an episode. Hope everybody's healthy and safe. Have a great night.